looks like we're ready. Boom. All right, looks like actually I'm live. Okay, very cool. Awesome. Don't need that anymore because apparently you can't. So hey, good morning from Bangkok. Probably evening where you guys are at, unless you're a Thai person, in which case, Swadikap. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so I've been pretty busy working on that Infinite Whiteboard project. I didn't wait for the stream just because I wanted to finish it this year. I'm actually kind of excited to get it done. So I've added a bunch of features since the last episode. So let's do a quick recap, and then we'll see where we're at. And it's draw, which once again not the best name in the world, but order of magnitude draw. That was the idea. So not sure what people think of that, but that's what I call it. So, and let's go into web. And once again, so far I have zero server-side code at all. So this is all just pure HTML stuff at the moment. There's nothing on the server whatsoever. It's all just client-side JavaScript stuff. So actually, I'm thinking today's episode we're going to have to start working on the server because I could keep tweaking the front end and making it better and better, and it's fun. But at some point, we got to start saving the data and being able to actually do something with it and share it with people. So let us go look at what we got here. So we got localhost. Umdraw.com 8000. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some controls, right? We still got our pan control, right? So we can move the origin around, right? We've got a move control, so we can move objects. We've got drawing now. We can actually draw with a marker, and then we have the notes. So let's take a look at how that fits together. So, well, I'll show you some features. So here's something. So I don't know why, but I've been testing with pictures of Mike Ditka. I'm not even a football fan, but he's just fun to look at. So let's get some pictures of Mike Ditka on here. So like we get a picture of Mike there, boom, and then I could do the usual. I can zoom in, in his sunglasses or something. And what if there was you like Mike Ditka? What if there's a Mike Ditka in your Mike Ditka? So we can zoom back out, which is kind of fun. Also, besides dropping images, like this one. This one's like, yeah. So, besides that, now we do have the ability to write. So, I have this, and you notice when I click it, the colors toggling between different colors. You can kind of see it there. Not the best user experience in the world, but I'm just kind of have to roll with it for now. It's like, hey, Mike, what's up? This guy, right? And once again, it all participates in the order of magnitude stuff, so you can. If you really feel like it, you can zoom way in here and maybe drop another Mike Ditka in there, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's all working as I visualize it. I don't know if it's useful for anyone, but I enjoy it. And also, we got the SVG support still, which I did not break. Well, I did break it, but I fixed it. So let's go look at SVGs for a second. Like, grab this guy. Doop, boop. Yep, there we go. And then there's some random woman's head, and we could put it in there with Mike. I don't think this was implemented. I had just gotten the masking drawn at the end of last episode. So you'll see, before we had this ugly box around the SVG, and the entire box was hit tested. So that basically, if I clicked here, instead of clicking on Mike Ditka's picture, I would have clicked on this picture, and that's just not a great experience. So I did finish the code to draw this mask, and you'll see what it did was basically anywhere that there is a pixel being drawn by the SVG file, it creates a orange, like an orange transparent thing, right? So you'll see that, I don't know if you can see very well with this, with a red one, but let's see here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, you see how it has a slight orange fuzz around it. So you can actually move those too because they're SVGs as well. And in fact, that's how I implemented the drawing function. I think maybe it's worth just talking about that for a second, just to see what the plan was. But the way that the drawing function is implemented right now, when I click on this tool, there is a div, or not a div, but I mean a custom element that covers the entire screen, and I call it the X sketch component. And so as I start dragging the mouse around, and I need to change that pointer, don't I? Let's make that pointer better, because it should look like a marker. That would be nicer, wouldn't it? Maybe that's the first thing we'll do, just get warmed up. But what I'm saying is there is this this element called an X sketch. And as I draw on it, when I release it, that custom element sends a message back to the view, which is this entire window, right? The view. It says, hey, I got a new SVG for you. And then the view window actually adds the SVG to the document. So let's go ahead and fire up Visual Studio. Not Visual Studio. Oh, no. No. Okay, Visual Studio Code. There we go. Let's fire up Visual Studio Code. And that's a lot better. And I can show you a little bit about how I implemented the drawing feature. It's really, it's not great yet because you'll notice when, especially if you, since you can zoom in, right? When you zoom in on one of these lines, yeah, well, it's okay, but it's not smooth. You know, I would prefer to use splines, and I had a spline solution, but it looked even worse. And so I'm going to, when I have some more time, I'd rather get this thing up and running in the current state and then improve that later. One of my software maxims is first make it work, then make it great. So I'm going to make this thing work and be able to share stuff with people and do what I intended, which was collaborate. And then I'll work on improving some of these mechanics like that. But you'll see that here in the expressive component file here, I created an X sketch. Okay, so this is an X sketch element, right? And you can see that it's over here in the main in index HTML, right? Actually, I lied. It's not in there. It's in the view. So let's go back to expressive and also into Okay, so if you look at XView, or not XView, but view, okay. Inside here, you'll see that there is a sketch element, and it's right below the tools and the debug window. So basically it captures all the mouse events that would normally go down to these underlying elements in the view. But by putting that sketch element there, you'll see that I did once again use CSS to control its visibility, and that's one of my favorite things to do, is because basically I hide it by default. So this element's not visible at all. I mean, it does cover the whole view window, but it's not visible unless we're in marker mode. So if the class mode marker is set on our view, so if we take a look at that, you'll see right now on the view, we're in mode pan, right? So that means the sketch component is not visible. But when I click this, boom, now mode marker, and now if I inspect here, you'll see that the X sketch component is actually visible. It's visible. You can't see anything because it doesn't have any content until you start drawing. And once you start drawing, then you actually do see something. So, so let's see what we do about getting a nicer cursor to go with that. I was using custom cursors for a lot of stuff, so maybe we can find ourselves a nice custom cursor. See if we can find a nice custom DuckDuckGo. Maybe later. We'll work on that later, DuckDuckGo. Just, whoop. Let's see here. Alright, those are kind of cool. Or a marker. Let's see if there's a marker. Do we have a marker? If not, maybe I'll have to take my marker, which is not beautiful, but maybe we'll just use that. Should we use that as our cursor? Why not? I guess we could do that. Let me refresh my memory what I did with the other icons, or the other pointers. So back here, projects. Okay. Let's go look at. I totally remember what I'm doing. Draw. There we go. Server, web, SVG. Okay. Oh, actually, pointers. So here in pointers, I've got this one and I got that one, and the dimensions on these things are 24 pixels. Okay. So let's bring up Affinity, my trusty design program. And that's where I have my marker. Yep, let's see, close that. I'll grab the most recent one. Should be marker here somewhere. Oh, I did it in a, actually I didn't open it here, so let's go find it back in design. Okay. And there's our marker. So, will that be good enough, you think? I think it'll be okay. I'm just trying to picture what that's going to look like. Yeah, I think it'll look okay. Let's try it as is. So we're going to export this guy. What was the format again? PNG, right? So let's try exporting this guy as a PNG. And it has to be much smaller. We're going to do 24 by 24 pixels. And we'll do the whole document. And we'll export it to, then we'll go ahead and stick it directly into our web pointers folder. And we'll marker pointer.png. How about that? Okay. If we go in here. Oh, is the background solid? Yeah, that's bad. So we got to export a transparent background. That's my bad. So let's do that again. Come in here and let's see. How do I do that? Oh, I think I have to set up the page first. So let's go in and set up document setup. Give ourselves a transparent background. Right there, boom. Okay, so now we can export this again. Boom. And 24 pixels, 24 pixels, export that. Yep, it does exist. And no, I don't want sound. If we turn off, switch back to my headphones, there we go. Okay, now, what is that? It should be transparent. Why isn't it transparent? Oh, it is transparent. Okay. The preview just looks weird. Okay. So now let's go back in here to our, let's find out where I think I set that in style CSS. Is that right? Or no? No, it's not. It's in here. Okay, so here's where I did the cursors. So what's nice is, you know, once you kind of get a good pattern going for things, like I said, these features get easier to implement because I can just basically copy what I already did. Okay, mode marker. And move, let's see, not move pointer, but marker pointer. Maybe that's what I call it. Now the hotspot, setting the hotspot's a big deal. I want the hotspot to be right there. So to get that, let me open it in Paint, maybe. Come on, man. Why wouldn't it let me open with Paint? Okay. And which pixel? Is it going to tell me 122? Is that right? So X is 122. So let's go with 1X and 22Y. And we go back to, let's see, oh, I should fix that too, because look at that, the fallback. I left that as grab. And it actually should be, let's see, what is it? I can't remember which one's which. Move, I guess, right? Now, let's see, so which one would it be? Is there like a default drawing? Yeah. We'll go with crosshair. Use a crosshair. Okay, so now if all that worked correctly, now when I go in here, there we are. Got a nice little marker, and it actually appears like we are drawing with a marker, which is the plan. I also did another weird feature. You'll see as I'm drawing, if I use the mouse wheel changes the color of the line, so I can actually kind of change the color while I'm dragging around, which is kind of fun. it wasn't necessary to do that, but I just did it because it was kind of cool. So yeah, I like that. I like that cursor. That's cool. So that's a good little feature. All right, so now we're kind of warmed up, and that should catch everybody up to where this thing is. I mean, that's really all the features. You know, it's still got the note feature still works. You can leave notes. Always leave a note. If you guys have ever watched Arrested Development, then you get that. If you don't, I'm sorry for you. That's a shame. It's a really good series. Well, it was a really good series, but it's still probably worth watching. Yeah, and you notice also another problem here is I can move things around and stuff, but I can't delete anything. So I was debating whether to do delete first or whether to start jumping into the server side first. And I've also got to rectify that warning. I haven't figured out yet how to make that better. But maybe we should do delete. Delete would probably be good. I was debating, honestly, how to handle delete, because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do it as like a like an eraser, if I had an eraser or something like that, or if I was going to go with something more like you would select and hit delete key or something, or have a trash can or something. And the reason I was thinking of going with the eraser is, like, if you want to get rid of a bunch of junk at a time, individually selecting and deleting them is going to be a pain. So I'm thinking we're going to go with the eraser. Of course, it is a little more dangerous to go with the eraser because you can do a lot more damage in a hurry. But yeah, let's go ahead and implement an eraser. So for that, I guess I'm going to need a new icon, right? So let's go find it. Maybe I can find one. Let's see. See if we can find a whiteboard eraser vector somewhere. Oh, and by the way, if you are watching this and you want to interact, hop onto Discord, and you should see the link to the Discord server in the YouTube description for this video. So you can jump in there and say hey if you want. Otherwise, just go ahead and watch, and hopefully we'll do something interesting. Okay, so that's kind of a terrible looking eraser. I was picturing just kind of honestly just like a canted rectangle, but it has to be kind of clear what you're doing, right? That's too photorealistic. Am I going to end up drawing my own whiteboard eraser? Probably. Am I proud of that? No, I'm not. All right, let's look up. my Google history. You don't have to delete my history. It's always this kind of stuff. It's like, okay. So, honestly, just a canted rounded rectangle might be sufficient. So I just closed Affinity too. Let's get it back up here. And I'm really tired of that. I don't want that anymore. Okay, and we'll go with square again. All right. And we're going to do the ever popular. See, I think I can do rounded, right? Let's see. How do I set the rounded corners on this thing? There is a way to do it. I just don't remember. Well, let's just go with. Well, that kind of looks like an eraser. But there's a way. How do I set those corners to be rounded? Corners, yeah, rounded. There we go. But that's way too rounded, I think. So we're going to drop that down a little bit, make it just slightly rounded. Now, how do we make it look like everything else? Let's go back and look at our current pointers. I guess it's going to have to be filled, right? So we're going to fill it with black. Just like that. Okay, so with no stroke, and then up. So this thing too small. Yeah, I think I need to make this a little bigger. I'm going to stick with this size, kind of. And, you know, these things are not 3D either. They're just, you know, icons, so I'm not going to go crazy trying to make this thing give a perspective or anything. Is it literally that? Is that enough? I don't know. I kind of feel like it is. Okay, so now we've got an eraser. So let's save this off. Go back into our design folder, and we'll call this eraser. And let's export this bad boy as a PNG. Back to 24 pixels. Oh wait, hold on. Set a transparent background because we're going to need that. Okay. Now let's export this bad boy. Actually, we need to export it twice. We're going to export it once as a pointer, and then we're going to export it once as an SVG so we can use it on the button. Pardon me. So let's see. Okay, we'll put this back into web pointers, and this is going to be eraser pointer. Okay, and now let's go ahead and export this as an SVG. And put that into SVGs. So we'll call this eraser icon. All right, cool. And said, once again, the cool thing is once you get on a roll with a decent setup for doing tools and things like this, it should be pretty easy to add a new tool. So let's go find our move icon or whatever right there. So here are our buttons, right? So all I got to do to create another function is essentially copy one of these and say, okay, so mode is going to be erase. And then we're going to use erase icon. Is that what I called it? Or is it eraser? Did I say eraser? Eraser. So mode is eraser. Try and be consistent, even though there's no connection literally between this and that. If you don't use the exact same word, that's just, you're adding to your cognitive load. I mean, that's a big deal in programming. Programming is already really hard. So whenever possible, just try to minimize the number of distinct things you need to remember. Like, you don't want to have to remember erase is the mode, but eraser is the icon. Just make everything the same, and your life will be much, much easier. So let's see, let's do that. There's actually some more styling I need to do somewhere, so let's look at it this way. Okay. Wait, actually, I think it equals note. Yeah, here's a style, right? So you'll see this here. So I need to add another one to make the eraser active when we click on it, right? Mode. Eraser. So that will set the background on that. Okay, so now we've got a new tool over here, right? So when I click on it, it does become, in fact, active. And why not, we'll set the pointer too, so we can have that, I guess, right? That'd be nice to see. So let's go in here and fix our pointer, right? And the good thing is, like I said, we just did markers, so it should be pretty easy for us to remember how to do eraser, right? Mode equals point eraser. Eraser pointer. And then as for what we use for an eraser, we're just gonna go with default, I guess, because I got nothing for that. All right. So now, ta-da! So you'll see that now. Oh, you see that thing though? See the pointer? Yeah, the hotspot is way off. So the hotspot needs to be 1212 probably. Now, when I click on this, yeah, you'll see how the pointer is smoothly. So the thing about, you got to think about the hotspot is basically when you're looking at the image, your pointer hotspot is the pixel on this image where your pointer actually clicks. Because when you click, it doesn't click on this whole 24 by 24 pixel grid. It's going to pick one particular point. And so in this case, the middle of the eraser makes sense, right? So as I transition here, you'll see before I fixed it, remember how it jumped? That's because I had the hot spot set the same as for the marker, right? But see, like when I switch to marker, you'll notice that the tip of that, see how the tip of the arrow goes off of the button? And you can see that the marker, the tip of the marker ends up in the same spot, and that kind of is expected. So like same deal with the eraser. When I jump off, the tip of that arrow becomes the middle of the eraser, which is what you kind of would expect, right? So, you know, so that's kind of cool. So now I just need to actually implement erase. So the idea is, I guess it's going to be pretty destructive. It's like anytime it touches something, it's going to erase it, right? Which is scary. But I'm not scared to do it. You know, I don't know. We're not going to have any safeguards. I want to. Well, that brings up something else. So right now, there's no undo, right? If I draw something I don't like and I want to, go back and undo it, nope, nothing like that. So I've been putting that off, but eventually I will have to implement some sort of undo system, and that is an interesting challenge. And I'm kind of excited to get into that because it's building an undo system. If you've never done it before, there's a lot to think about because like what is undoable, what is not undoable, and you kind of have to create a recording and playback system for a lot of the operations in your system that you didn't think about. So that'll be a fun challenge, but for now, I think we're just going to get by with simple delete, and then you got to draw it again, or drop your image in it or whatever, and try not to delete anything too important. So yeah, the idea is the eraser is like a bulldozer. When it touches something, that thing is gone. So let's go in and figure out how to implement that. So let's go into, we're in our view. So the view will actually implement that. The view is going to be implementing the eraser. And the way we do that, if you've seen before how I structured this code down here, I have all these pointer events and things. So like, like there's on pointer down, pointer move, pointer up, and there's this convention, where you can have a mode. And if you implement a mode pointer move, so in this case it would be eraser pointer move event, then that function will get called. So that's where we're going to handle this. Is we're going to add handlers for pointer down, pointer move, pointer up for the eraser. So when we go to the end of what I've already got, I think I've got move pointer up, all these things, move wheel, okay, notes, I've got notes, click, marker mode, yep. Marker sketch done. Okay, so I'm going to go down here and I'm going to start adding. So eraser, pointer down, right? So that's when we click with the eraser. That's going to happen, right? And just to start off, we'll never hurts. Eraser, pointer, move. Kind of the same deal. And we'll do eraser, pointer up. Okay. All right. So let's see if that did what I expected. So we'll go ahead and switch it here. Oh, didn't I do pointer move? Oh, okay, I know why. So the pointer move processing, the way I did this is if you don't capture, so like when I click down on this thing, the eraser pointer down handler has to indicate that it cares about this event, and then so it would basically return, if it returns true, then it's telling the caller, hey, I want to capture this mouse and I want to do stuff with the mouse events. So now you'll see that we're getting a ton of mouse events over here, right? Like a lot. Because I'm actually capturing it. So that's cool. Okay, so it looks like we're getting what we expect. See, this is the neat thing is once you kind of get a critical mass with your application, one of my little rules of thumb with software development is if you structured your code well and you did it right, it gets kind of easier as you go along. Development gets a little bit easier. It's like, okay, I'm implementing this new feature. It's only going to take a few minutes, right? Because we've already got all the infrastructure in place, to add this new tool. Because I predicted, back when I started, I'm going to have more than 2 tools, right? So I tried to create this system for making tools easier, right? So if it gets easier as you're going along, you structured your code well. If it gets harder as you go along, you made a mistake and you need to go back, and even though it's painful, you need to refactor. So, and I've done that many times. So if you find that you're writing code and it just gets harder and harder, you want to refactor. You want to go back and start over and figure out where you made a mistake and try and structure your code so that it gets easier as you go along. Because it should. If you structure things well, things should get easier. So we got our erase stuff here. So all we got to do, basically anything that the pointer touches gets erased. So we'll probably just create a little helper function to, you know, we'll call it like erase, you know, erase item or something like that, or, you know, check erase item. And it'll take an event, right? So then we'll call this from everything, right? So this dot check erase item. Okay. We're gonna do the same thing from all these. Okay. And now what that will do is we already, okay, so something you missed probably from the last week. Before, I was using a function called get element, what is it, get element by point or from point. Get elements, wait, or no, wait, get, what is it? Let's look it up, hit test point, okay. All right, item from point. Okay, elements from point. That's not get, but it's elements from point. So before I was using this call as a part of the DOM called element from point. So basically, if you give it a point in your DOM tree, and I say, let's say it was this point, whatever this is, which looks like it's, you know, I don't know, maybe 100 by 20 or whatever this pixel is. Element from point says, tell me what element is under the pointer, like if I were to click on it, what element would be clicked on, right? So in this case it would be the button, in this case it would be the view background or whatever, but element from point will tell you one element, but if you picture what's happening on this page, there's actually a bunch of elements stacked on top of each other, right? So it's not enough just to know, a lot of times, like, you know, if I start doing this and I'm putting, you know, notes everywhere, right? You know, there's 3 or 4 notes under this pixel, so element from point would just tell me the top one, but sometimes because of the, remember, because of the irregularly shaped SVGs and things like that, like if I do this, technically this item, if you look at it, you can see, if I inspect it, this item itself is actually kind of big, right? See that box? It goes way outside and it covers up all those notes. And so if I didn't do this hit testing stuff, every time I tried to click on one of these notes, I would end up clicking on this image, right? But instead, I'm able to select these notes because I did this this mask-based hit testing, right? So basically, I had to implement my own hit testing function called item from point, right? So I give it a client X and Y, and then I get a list of all of the elements below that point. So when I click here, it's going to return a list of, you know, this graphic here is going to return that note down there, maybe if there's something else below that. And since this thing is essentially limitless, there could be a lot of elements underneath my mouse at any point. But it returns them in order from top to bottom. So it returns all these elements, right? And then I actually go through each element and ask it, hey, is this point really part of you or not? And so that gives me a chance in the SVG, for example, SVG item, right? Hit test point. Okay, so for the default implementation of hit test point for the root class, for the item class, just checks to see it's inside the bounds of the element. It's like, okay, if it's inside the bounds of the element, yes, that counts. But then you'll see down here in the SVG implementation, okay, so for SVGs, it actually says, okay, is that pixel at this location being drawn or not by the SVG? And if it's not being drawn, then it's not part of me. So let's go ahead. So basically then my own, you know, the item from point function, right? can just go ahead and walk down the chain and go to the next guy. It's like, okay, so when I click here, even though it's technically part of this element here, it'll say, nope, I'm not. So then it lets me select the one behind it. Okay, so that's what that's all about. So this item from point thing that I wrote, that's going to make my erasing life much easier. So erase, let's see. We'll call this check erase item. So what we're going to do now is item from point. Client X. Client Y. Not item. Whoop. Do the early exit. All right. The item exists. Now, there are a bunch of ways to handle this. The naive way would just be to pull it out of the DOM tree and throw it away. But another thing I've been doing is because I know eventually I'm going to have to do things like write a undo manager, and eventually I'm going to have to write the server-side code to synchronize this stuff. So when you erase something, you can't just erase it locally. You have to erase it from the server and all this other stuff. So the best way to handle that is to encapsulate this functionality in a method. So what we're going to do is if the item exists, well, in fact, I'm going to use a different paradigm. I'm going to use, since it's pretty simple, I've been using this in a lot of places. So item, and if the item exists, item.erase. Okay, so now we go back up to our default item implementation, right? And we're going to add a default erase handler. So let's go down into here, and we've got, like I said, we got these other handlers start, these other methods: start, edit, cancel, edit, hit test point, etc. So we're going to add an erase method. Okay. Now, for the moment, all we really need to do is this dot parent element dot remove child, this, right? And that will erase it. And this is, once again, this is pretty naive, but it'll work for now, right? So let's go draw some crap. Yeah, we got stuff. I don't like any of this at all. I want to erase it all. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. So now I do have the ability to erase. So I can do this. No, nope, don't want it. Same thing, it should work with everything. Let's grab some stuff. Well, I don't want this one, or I don't want that one, or I don't want that one, I don't want that one. Okay, so that's erase, which is cool. So now we have that functionality. So I think we're now at the point where this is a good breaking point to go to look at the server-side stuff. So let's think about that for a second. First of all, let me commit all the stuff I already got, because you don't want to, when I was a kid, I used to have to save my programs on a cassette tape, and sometimes the cassette tape would break, or sometimes there would be a problem, and it would get erased, and you might lose. I lost 2 weeks' work one time because I didn't. Backups were really hard. It's not like, oh, we didn't have a backup. It's like, well, what do I do? Do I use my boombox and duplicate that tape, and every time I make a change? No, it was really hard. So, basically, I would start telling myself when something like that would happen, like I'd lose 2 weeks worth of work, I would say, well, it's always quick. It's always quicker the second time. But you know what? It still doesn't make it easy. So, all right, let's go to projects. Yeah, I need to get in there. D projects. Oh, wait. All right. Yeah, I want to add that repository for sure. I'm totally down with that. Oh, add an exception. All right, very good. Now, all right, we got all this stuff here. So what did we do? We added marker, pointer, and erase function in. All right, commit that. Push it to the origin. Boom. Cool. So that's exciting. All right. So now this is the hard part. We got to think. We got to sit here and think for a second. So I've just been kind of hand waving, saying, okay, yeah, we're going to do a server. We got to do a server. And I did make the decision way back at the beginning of the project that I was going to use Golang for this because I've been playing with Golang lately, and I like the performance. I want this thing to be just like wickedly, insanely fast. I want it to be just as fast as possible. So, because there's nothing that takes you out of the moment when you have to wait. You're watching things tick along and stuff. So I want to make this as fast as I can. And the trade-off frequently, of course, is, fast means complex, or at least, more difficult to write. And it's difficult to write performant code, but we're going to do it. So let's talk about what we need to do. First of all, obviously we need authentication. So we need to know who the user is. And my favorite way to do authentication these days is plain old email authentication. Basically, you give me your email address, and I will, send you an email and with a secret link in it, and you click that link and you're logged in. And then that way, you don't have to remember a password. You don't have to come up with a crappy password that you used on 15 other sites, and I don't have to store your crappy password. And so in most cases, ultimately, your email account is the master key anyway. It's like, because in most sites, you come up with a crappy password, you forget the crappy password, and you reset it, and it goes to your email. So I'm just skipping the middleman, and when you want to log in, you just use your email address. So to do that, what do we want it to look like on the UI? So I'm assuming, basically, when you come to the site, this is a question. So do we allow people to see the site without logging in, like anonymously? Like, can they come in here and see things, even though they haven't authenticated, or does everybody have to log in? I'm tempted to make everyone log in, because if you don't want to tell me who you are, you probably don't really need to be seeing this. Other than that, okay, so that gets into some other issues I hadn't really formally decided yet. So, right now, I'm the only one using this. This is on my machine. You can't see what I'm doing here because whatever I've dropped into this browser is just living in my browser, right? But pretty soon, it's going to be going to the server. And so I have to decide, is the world shared? Like, does everybody in the whole world see what I'm drawing and what I'm seeing, or do we each have our own worlds, or do we have to share worlds, or how does that work? And I've given this some thought. I am leaning towards making it so that everybody lives in the same world, because I don't know. I mean, it just seems more interesting if everybody's together in the same world. If anybody's watching, by the way, and anybody has an opinion on this, I'd love to hear it. If you want to jump into Discord or something and tell me, let's just. How do I communicate that URL with? Like I said, the easiest way to find it is if you go look at my at the YouTube video. You should see a Discord link in there. But what I'm saying is, I think I want the world to be shared. So I think everybody lives in the same world. But then that being said, if everybody spawns at 0, 0 origin, then it's going to get really cluttered in a hurry with my pictures or whatever. Yeah, I know what's going to happen. I was like, people are going to be dropping these things in like crazy, right? Man, that guy, there's something about him. He just looks kind of crazy eyes there. Hey, wait, we got an opinion. I think someone heard me. Let's see what they say. Meanwhile, I'm going to open my bottle of soda. I got soda water. I drink a ton of soda water over here in Thailand. It's hot. So, let's see here. Does my Swiss Army tool have a bottle opener, hopefully? Better. Yes, it does. All right. Can I use it? Maybe not. Okay, that's unfortunate. I have a bottle opener, but it is useless. It does not work. Oh, wait. Maybe I can possibly... Ow! Oh, no, that hurt. Okay, this is going to totally be... I'm going to make this happen. I really want my soda. I brought this bottle of soda and some ice in here, and then I'm like, okay, I can open it with my Gerber mini tool, but my Gerber mini tool is not cooperating. If I start bleeding too much, I'll tell you guys where you can call the Thai authorities or something. That'll be difficult. Shui doi. That's how you say help in Thai, by the way, if it comes up. Shui doi. And it literally kind of means help me too, which I'm not sure why it comes out like that, but that's what it is. Shui doi. All right. So the opinion I have is shared world is cool. So I'm gonna roll with that. And I mean that means we'll have to do some stuff. They'll have to have like a way to block people, and you know there will be griefers. It's like the rule of the internet. As soon as the internet exists, right, there's gonna be somebody complaining, you know, somebody causing problems. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go open this bottle of soda. It's driving me crazy. I have to go find a bottle opener. Hold on, I'll be back. All right, Tiput Quad Lao. That's Thai for I found a bottle opener already. They say already a lot because Thai doesn't have tenses. So if you hear a Thai person and they say already all the time to you, that's because their language. That's just how it works. It's like, oh, that's how you communicate the past. It's like, it happened already. All right, sorry about that. I feel like I'm doing a commercial. It's like, get some nice Sing soda water. Singhai, actually. Okay, there we go. So we're going to do a shared world. Okay, that's cool. So we need the login function. The only trick is, of course, in the old days, sending email was so easy. It's like I really miss those days when everybody trusted everybody, and you could just spin up a mail server on your Linux box and send an email to people, and it was fine, and nobody cared. Those days are long gone now, obviously. So here's another decision to make. I use things like, I've been using things like Mailgun or SendGrid or whatever to send emails because I just didn't want to deal with the hassle of trying to run my own mail server. I have set up my own mail server fairly recently, the last couple of years, and it is possible. So the question is this something people want to see, or should we go down the API route and just find, you know, something like SendGrid or whatever, MailChimp, something like that to do it. Once again, I'm taking a poll of the viewers. If there is a viewer, I think there's one. There's one viewer. So Ronnie, you're out there, man. Let me know what you think. My friend Ronnie is the MVP. He's one here, my faithful viewer. He's out here watching. It's like setting up a mail server is a real pain, but you know, it's kind of a cool skill to have. It's kind of nice to be able to do that, and then you're not at the mercy of all those of big email, you know. But let's see. I guess while we're thinking about that, I could start making the transition to using the Golang server for this stuff. So I guess let's see where we're at with that. I honestly haven't looked at it in a while. You know, up until now, I've just been doing the basic Python HTTP server to get this stuff running. So let's go back down here. I think we're in here, right? Yep. So it's go run. What is it? What is it? What did I call it? Server. Run command server. Whoop. All right. Okay. It's running on 443 already. Did I get my wildcard server in here? I don't remember that I set that up. All right, so it's up to me. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good. We do have our SSL stuff running. Oh, that's cool. So it's totally serving. That's good. All right. Yep, and it's going in through our Go server. Tight. All right, well, the only reason I was even considering starting my own email server up is because SendGrid gave me a hard time last time I tried to use them. I think it's because I'm in Thailand, and they were like demanding a bunch of documentation and everything, and I really just wanted to send a login email. You know, it didn't seem like it should be that big a deal. Maybe I can just find another service. Let's poke around and see what we can come up with. Like let's see what we come up with. All right. Yep, we got. Here's a bunch of candidates. SMTP, huh? All right. All right. Okay, well, I like the pricing. Let's see. Let's see, $25 for one. Let's see. I'm tempted to try one of these other ones because, like I said, I've done SendGrid and they were giving me a hard time. And I really didn't want to deal with them. So let's go with let's see, Mailgun maybe. Seems like overkill for me, but okay. Oh, one lock. What's a lock? Is that 10,000? What's a lock? 100,000. Okay, so yeah, 100,000. Okay. Well, let's just check these guys out. SMTP. Okay. Yeah, okay, so they got something for medium. I guess it's fine. I just make, you always got to watch out it's not, get scammed. This stuff, make sure it's something legitimate. Let's see. Cloudflare. Okay, so Cloudflare, probably legit. I don't know. Okay, a few thousand emails per millions of them. Okay. Yep, let's see about that. Easy API. Don't care about that story. All right. Okay. Okay, so domain setup, pretty cool. All right, got it. All right, so we're going to go with these guys. See how it goes. So let's view the plans. So $25 a month. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll be getting anywhere near that for a while, so let's go and do this. All right, guys, I'm going to sign up over here on the other monitor just because you guys don't need all that. Okay. Sorry about this, not the most exciting thing. What is reputation? Okay, I guess we'll stick with that. Fine. And continue. Okay. Wait. What is it asking me? All right. It's invalid. Okay. This is a pet peeve of mine. I'm gonna share this with you guys. Let's see. How can I do this? Well, I'll just tell you what it is. It's basically I'm trying to sign up, and I type my phone number as +1 803 237 004. That's my number, right? Anyway, so I type it in, and use the +1 prefix, right? And it says my number's invalid. It's like, no, it's not invalid. So that's the big problem with data validation is like, sometimes it's really complicated. You think a phone number is easy to validate. It's not really that easy, especially if people are overseas and that sort of thing. Still saying it's invalid, huh? Okay. Nope, still saying it's invalid. All right. Okay. Maybe it's gonna give a landline. Is that the deal, or an actual? Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, well, this worked this time. All right, interesting. I gave the same one as before. Okay. Use PayPal. We're getting into PayPal. Okay. Joke. Alrighty. Alright. Alright, so let me go verify my email. Okay. Let's see, these guys are Canadian. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let me verify my email address, these guys. Alright. So I got to do some DKIM and SPF stuff now to make this work. So those are some terms. If you've never set up a mail server recently, there's a lot more to it than it used to be. It used to be you could just plug in your MX records into your DNS server and everything was cool. But things are not that easy anymore. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, it's asking me to log in, but I never created a username or a password, so how do I do that? Let's see. Oh, okay, there we are. Cool. Sorry, this is not that entertaining, but gotta be done, I guess. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we got okay. All right, so now I can at least probably show you guys this little bit of configuration I'm gonna have to do to get this to work. So I gotta go into my domain name provider, Namecheap. Once again, I don't get any money from those guys, but they've done a good job. I can't really complain. They keep their dark patterns to a minimum, I think. Unlike GoDaddy, which is the worst. GoDaddy, you spend all of your effort trying to not buy stuff you don't want. It's just like they're continuously trying to get you to upsell stuff that you don't really need, and you just have to fight their UI every step of the way, unclicking things. It's a pain. All right, let's see. Okay. Now let's go into find my domain. All right. So here's my domain. So let's go in here, and I've got to add some DNS stuff. So let's see what they want me to do. They want me to add an SPF record. So right in here, we're going to add SPF record. How do you do an SPF record? Mail settings. Oh. Wait a minute. Alright, so let's see how to do this. Set up SPF. How do you add an SPF? I thought it was a record type, but maybe it's not. Let's see. Is it a text record or something? Alright, hold on. DNS. SPF record. Wait. Let's see here. It is a text record. I knew it. Okay, it's just a text record. Okay. All right. Okay. Close that thing down a little bit. Text. Okay, so it's just a text record. Literally text. Okay, the question is, what's the host? I wonder if the host is at. Probably at. Let's try at. And then there's that. Okay. Give it a second, see if it likes it. I'll check that host in a second, see if that's a problem. I'm attempting to verify it over here, right? It's like, nope, not happy. So let's see here. I didn't have to save anything, did I? Well, we can do what? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Back to DNS, create a new text record. Let's see. I'd really just like to see an example. Okay, but the question is what host? Yes, I know about all that stuff. But the question is, okay, let's see. Whoop. Come on. Actually, maybe I could just do that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. SPF DNS. The host field's the name of my domain. Well, that's kind of what I did, right? I can't help but feel that that's right. Right. Yeah, still not happy. I'm not crazy, am I? Oomdraw.com. Oomdraw.com. Alright. Let's see. Let's do some DNS tool lookup stuff. DNS checker. Block. Okay. SPF checker. SPF record found. Only run record found. Okay. Alright, so this is saying it's okay. Interesting. Alright, so this SPF checker is saying it's okay, but smtp.com is saying it's not okay. So what's up with that? Interesting. Such a pain. See, this is why. It's like, that's why I was kind of tempted to set up my own mail server. Because you see, it's like, you're like, oh, well, I'll just use, this third party, and that'll make my life easier, right? But, guess what? It's not. Oh, it looks like you're right. Exactly. Thanks, man. Yeah, Brownie sent me the link to get the SPF in there. So I was right about the host, but, and like I said, this other SPF checker says it's fine, but this SMTP service, I'm guessing it's lying. I'm guessing it's saying, oh, there's a problem. I'm thinking it probably has blocked me or something, because it's still sketchy. I mean, I'm calling in from Bangkok, and it's like, well, this seems, they're probably trying to spam or something. So maybe they're just deliberately saying, oh, it's not good, and you just check it again. But it's like, there's nothing happening here. Oy, I wonder if I could call him. I'm curious. What the hell? Try and call him, I guess. Wonder if everybody will answer me if I call him right now. Let me see if I can get on my Google Voice and give these guys a call. All right. And I wonder if there's something else that I'm missing, like. Okay, let's see here. All right. I'm calling them. We'll see what happens. I wish you guys could. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Let's see. I'm gonna try and see if I can make that accessible so you can hear it. Let me get in here and see. This is the headache of trying to get email done in the 21st century. Just really hard. All right, I'm turning on desktop audio. I'm gonna call these guys again. Let's see if you guys can hear what they're saying.
You have reached smtp.com, the global leader in email delivery. If you know your party's extension, please enter it now. Or to access our dial by name directory, press 9. For customer support, press 1. Or you may send an email to.
All right, so I pressed 1.
Welcome to our voicemail system. You have reached the mailbox of 1000. Sorry, this mailbox is full and cannot accept any more recordings. Thank you for using the voicemail system. Goodbye.
And that's that. So, yeah. This is what makes me tired sometimes. It's just like, I just want to be able to send an email, you know? Is that so hard? Yeah. All right. I gave them some money, too. How much did they take? Let's see. $25, something like that. $30, yeah. Should I send them an email, a supply? I mean, it's a support email. It's like, how much time do I waste? That's the question. Now I'm invested somewhat. I thought I was going to be able to do this, and apparently I can't. So, do I continue to throw good time after bad and mess with these guys? Yeah, email instructions. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll click that. Email instructions to a teammate. There. I just emailed them to myself, so we'll see if it's any better. I mean, you know, I seriously think it's just not. It knows that it's okay, but it's just not approving my account because they think that I'm scamming or something. That's my belief. And to be fair, I can see that, right? Oh, okay. Let's see. Yep. These instructions are a little bit more complete, I guess. This is cool. They did actually go a little bit. Okay. Well, interesting. 3,600. Do you think the time to live matters? The TTL matters? That was a good call, Ronnie. Thank you. That was smart. It's like, they gave a little more complete instructions. Let's go ahead and go with, okay, so 3,600. What's that? God. an hour, right? 60 minutes. Okay. Give it 60 minutes time to live. Okay. All right. Well, so this sucks. And I gave these guys $30, and now I still don't have email. This is so frustrating. This is life. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start implementing the server logic as if I have access to email, and we'll mock it up for now, and then we'll decide whether I go with these guys or another crappy email service that I can't use, or whether I just make my own. So I've already got a headache. This is not cool. This is the disheartening part of the programming, because it's like there's nothing I can do about this. It's like I'm out of control. Yep, unable to verify the SPF. Let's like check it back in an hour. I'm tell you what, I'm gonna set a timer, and then check back in an hour and see if anything's different. But that is incredibly annoying. Set a timer for 1 hour. All right. Okay, so in 1 hour, we will come back here and we will see what we got. Okay. So frustrating. Okay. Now, so we're going to put this away for a minute. That's the cool thing about a project like this is there's plenty of work to do, so we can always get rid of this for a little bit. And I'm tempted to make my own email server just so I can have my own login service, because I have so many projects where I need to do login like this, and I've already got a couple other ones where I've kind of implemented this using SendGrid and things, and I would rather just have my own email login. I was thinking about writing a service to do email to OAuth. So basically, it looks like an OAuth client, but it sends an email in the back end for authentication. But okay. So let's talk about what this is going to look like on the front end, I guess. So when the thing, when you get the site, boom, I guess I'm going to do like an overlay with the login dialog, and you basically can't go anywhere until you've logged in. So let's go ahead and get that going. See what that looks like. So here in the main view, how did I style that? Let's go over here and check this out. I don't know. Okay. Yep. So I've already got all that, and then yep. Pardon me. So I've got the main view is, pardon me, absolutely positioned there. So basically I can just kind of do the same thing here. I'll create a new view called we'll call this auth. Yeah, let's see. Auth view. How about that? Okay. And just create an authentication form. And we'll do email address. Type equals email. And let's see. Give it a button. Okay, and so I'll do this, and now the thing that I want is not visible because it's off the bottom of the screen. I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, maybe I actually, that's the thing, it's like, do I have to, I think I have to restart this maybe to see any changes? No, I don't, so, yep, it's there, it's just hidden underneath our main view, so we're going to give it the same, positioning style stuff. So we'll do this. We'll do like, did I call it all login view or auth view? How about that? Let's call it all login view, actually. All right, look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna make that look a little nicer. So, login view is covering the whole screen. I can do some more styling with that. So let's do this like background color. Let's give it. We're gonna make it black, but we're gonna make it. Yeah, let's make it like that. Oh, that's too dark. Let's make it like. Oh, that's too much. I went the other way. Let's go the other way. You know. Yeah. So what I'm doing there is RGBA stuff, right? So I'm like saying basically it's black. The color is black, but the 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 opacity is like almost 0, so it's really transparent, right? So yeah, we'll stick with that. We're going to do the display flex and to center things, right? So we're going to do align items center, justify content center, and so now our form is in the middle. And now we can do our I called that form the login form, right? So form. Oh, yeah. What am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong here? An empty rule set. Okay, whatever. Shut up. Make it white, I guess. We're to radius 1, rim. And we'll give it some padding, maybe. And let's see. Taking minimalism to a new height, man. This is, let's see here. See, this is one of the things I always am just puzzled about. It's like inside my form, you know, because you need some structure to be able to do padding and margins and things like that. But there's not really a good built-in HTML class. We've got field set, I guess, which is something that can be used. But I don't really think field set's right here. It's like basically you just need like a wrapper around a single field, you know. And so people use p tags sometimes, but that's not really right. You don't really want paragraphs because it's not really a paragraph. You know, it's just been it always bugs me. People use divs, but divs are so generic. That's why I love using custom elements for things, because like when you look at a huge site and it's full of divs with IDs and classes and stuff, it just looks like so much, you know, just a goulash, you know, to me. So, you know, it'd be really nice if there was something around this. It's like, you know, I've done this before, you know, created a field class or something like that, right? Yeah, for this application, it's probably overkill, but I might do it anyway. I don't know. It's my application. I do what I want. Because then you also need like a different class for buttons, because buttons need to be laid out differently, right? So I've used like button bar or something like that. All right, let's see. Yeah, we'll just use these for now. Okay, so since I'm using the X prefix, I guess I better go ahead and create some custom stuff over here. So let's do that. So I didn't already create one. Let's go ahead up here. Actually, what I could do, here's what I will do. I'll just do an XH box. Yeah, do an XH box here too. Okay, so the reason that might be cool is, let's take a look in here real quick. Yep, so I can do this. I can say, yep, right. Yep, and then now I can. I'm gonna dress this up a little bit. It looks pretty ugly, so I probably should just do some generic form styling. So that's what I'm gonna do with this actually. I'm going to make all forms look kind of like this, I guess. Or, well, let's see. Make a new class called dialogue. How about that? Yeah, so all dialogue forms. Okay. Now we can do some more stuff here. XH box, and we'll give it like a margin of 0.5 rem or something like that. Yeah, or 1 rem. That's too much. Okay. All right. And let's, I don't like the whole, I never did pick a font or anything for this site. I'm going to go with the sans serif font for everything. How about that? Just go with sans serif fonts for everything. It's already looking a little bit better. Now I just want to, like the button, that button looks terrible. I'm going to steal somebody else's CSS for this. I think there's some decent, you know, flat. Yeah, let's see if there's anything. HTMLbuttons.com. There's somebody who's done it all, man. Let's see here. Those buttons are not great, I guess. Okay. What did they go with, man? That's awful. This is not helping me at all. I'm wasting my time with this. Okay, let's see. I should have just styled this myself. Every time I think I'm going to save time by finding somebody else's code, it just seems like I'd be better off just doing it on my own. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, those, not loving those. Not loving those. Alright, well, the closest thing I've seen to what I was kind of wanting is probably this stuff here. I mean, something like that. Well, let's go look at his code, I guess. But, round, where's round at? Yeah. Primary round button. Whoa, what is that, man? What is that? Man, I've never seen that before. Am I crazy? And okay, well this is one of the good reasons to go through. This is something I've never seen before. What is this syntax? What is this and dash CSS? Welcome to the rabbit hole, man. Let's get in here. That's not helping me at all. W3C, no thank you. Ampersand. What is that? Oh, is that SAS? Oh, that's what's going on here. SCSS. It's not normal CSS. That's why I was totally losing. It's like, that's not a built-in feature. That's... I'm closing this and I'm never coming back. All right, so let's go back to our buttons. Let's just create a... All right. I'm always kind of debating whether to be that specific. If you don't need to be that specific, don't. So I'll just make it like that. So dialog button, we're going to give it, we're going to make it rounded. So first of all, no border. Okay, that's not going to be sufficient there, right? Holy cow. Guess what? SPF record verification verified. I had left that thing up on the second monitor and it actually just popped. That is kind of crazy. All right. All right. So it's all right, even. Let's see. Oh. Let's go ahead and stick this in there. Now I'm at the DKIM side of things. So let's do some DKIM setup. I honestly don't know if DKIM is sensitive or not. I don't think it would matter. I don't think anybody could do anything useful with DKIM because you need to be... let's see. You would need to have my DNS record to do anything with it, but I'm not going to show it on the screen if I can help it. Okay. All right. Time to live. All right. Let's do what they say exactly. Okay. And we verify. Okay, now we're back into the, we're unable to verify DKIM, but I have hope now. I hope maybe it'll eventually work. So let's wait for it. That's cool. So we may actually have access to email before this cast is over. That would be super cool. All right, so meanwhile back here, let's go back to styling this button. Go with one rim. One rim and some padding. Yeah, it looks all right, I guess. Could be worse, could be better. Gray, I'm not really loving. Oh, button. We're gonna give it a type of button so it doesn't submit whenever I click on it. Button type equals button. Okay, I can click it all day long. Okay, so colors. So far, I've not been real creative with the color schemes for this website. In fact, have I defined anything really much? Just the world background, grid color, and then UI stroke. Should I use the UI stroke color? Something like that. Let's see. I do have a UI active color, I guess, kind of. what is this color for? UI stroke, UI accent. All right, well, let's see here. Let's go ahead in here and style, make the background. Well, actually, so there are different kinds of buttons. So we'll do primary color, background color, UI. Give it the accent color. How about that? And then, so now I can give it a primary class. Okay. Boop. And we'll give it probably white text. Although, see, that's the thing. Once you do UI accent, we'll do this. UI accent text. That way, you know, if you're going to go to all the trouble to do a variable for this, then you may as well do a variable for that. Okay. All right. So send login email. Boom. Now we got to get some hovering going on and some. Let's see. So maybe we'll go with active or something like that. Yeah. Let's see. So we're going to do hover and active. So okay. UI active. See how that looks. Oh, that's terrible. Well, okay, it's because it's terrible for numerous reasons, but oh my god. Okay, that's not good. We're gonna have to do something about that. What if I use US stroke? r/I had a stroke, maybe. Or what if I flip-flop those? What if I use a stroke for the default color and active, or accent for the... it looks grayed out, it's the problem. Yeah, that's not cool. See how hard it is? Just colors, man. Well, that's going to be good enough for now, because it's really not that critical. It's like... And here's another little fit and finish thing that bugs me. It's like, you notice how your email, this is selectable and stuff. That's not very cool. So I'm going to make it so... I tend to, honestly, especially for a website like this, I tend to make everything unselectable. User select none. And then I selectively make things selectable. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's kind of better to go with not selectable by default and then add selection whenever you need it instead of trying to do it the other way around. So, okay, so there's a couple things here. So we need your email. Okay, so I did make that this button into a button. I probably will actually allow them to use submit, because I tend to like to override submit functionality, because you can use the keyboard and you can do other cool stuff. So what we'll do is, first of all, make this required. All right. And autofocus. Okay. Yep, so now we're there. Okay. And then we'll intercept the actual submit event, and we'll do our own processing. Okay. Let's see here. Try and verify the DKIM again. Hey. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Ta-da! I have emails, apparently. All right. I'm not sure what I'm going to see here, so let's get in here. Sending active. Okay, continue. All right. All right, so set 0. Let's see. Okay, cool. let's see. Yeah, so it's so I do have, apparently I have access to send emails now. That's cool. But since I'm going to send emails, I should probably also be able to receive emails. So let's look into that real quick while we're here. Let's set up. Let's do some email forwarding maybe or something. Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't want to break this for sure. All right, let's see. Well, I'm not going to worry about it for right now. I mean, one of the issues is obviously that unless I receive emails on that domain, if someone sends back any, I'll just have to make a no reply or something like that. But we'll have to also deal, when you're dealing with emails, even ones like this where, it would be weird for you to report something as spam that you asked to have sent, but people will send it to other people. That's the other problem. You can get griefers who are going to send emails to people randomly, and you have to accommodate that. It's exhausting. But okay, so we'll deal with that in a minute. But all right, so got this cool thing here, got that cool thing there. Let's see. Sorry, stretch. Okay. Let's get a handler in here, and then working on our authentication API. So, let's get into main. All right. So when the site is initialized, head event. Let's see. Oh, this thing. Okay, so this logic was supposed to be handling, let's see. Well, I can't really use the app anymore, but I could kind of temporarily use the app if I just delete that. So, like when I add something, boom. This was supposed to toggle back to here. The question is, why isn't this item added thing? Okay. So am I not getting that call anymore or something? Or let's take a look at here in main JS real quick. Sorry, main here. Yeah, let's wait. Oh, it is. It's being called, but set mode. Oh, because set mode does not exist anymore, I think, right? What is set mode? Oh, it does exist, but it's useless because I refactored how this works. Okay, so let's go fix this stuff. So, yeah, this is not helpful. So what we're going to do is, all we got to do is set the mode on the main view. So main view. All right, so now temporarily disable this. Okay. Yep. Yeah, see, now we're back on pan mode, which is cool. That's kind of what I wanted. Okay. Boop. All right. So now back to our regularly scheduled thing. This is so funny. Just your email, send login email. Yeah, no abouts, no nothing. That's it. Get in here. You're gonna welcome to my application. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, now I can come in here and put in a handler. So we'll do it on documented forms, login. So we'll add a submit handler. Okay. All right. All right. So the first thing we'll do is just prevent it from resetting the whole page. So EA prevent default. So now if I type in, notice that. Okay, that's an issue. Because I have these like global key handlers, so turning on the grid and everything. I need to do something about that. What can I do? Let me figure out a way to fix that globally, because it's getting annoying. So let's go and look at that bug. Let's go look at the view, right? So key up, key up. Handle key up. Okay, handle key up. Let's see what we can do about maybe identifying that the key up is happening in an input control or something like that, and just ignore those. Don't pass them on to handlers and things. So yeah, so let's go here. Okay. So eTarget is an input, right? Okay. I wonder what the target is when nothing is focused. Sorry. Let's go check that out. So now if I type G, what is the target? The target is the body. So I wonder if we should just go with that for now. Like if the target is the body, if the target's not the body, we won't do anything here. So let's do this. So if okay, then we're not going to do anything. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, that works. And then let's see if I broke anything else. Let's see. So if I inspect this, delete it, boom. Yeah, that still works. Okay. All right, that'll be good enough for now. So okay, so I didn't put anything in there to show it is actually being called, but I'm 99% sure this is actually being called. First, yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay. Yep. So I am being called there. Let's see. I think I wrote a cool custom element that I might want to recycle here. I don't know. Should I do it or not? Because I like to remember, well, should if I do that, I'll have to have like a remember me, like a checkbox, remember me, and that kind of thing. Like it's nice to remember the email so I don't have to type it all the time. I really should have like a checkbox, like a remember me checkbox or something like that there. Yeah, what the heck, we'll do it. Go whole hog, and create a remember me. Type equals checkbox. Remember me. Yeah, so it's always funny. It's like, what do you use for name? This is a tricky thing because, like, I love using the built-in shortcut method to get to forms and fields, right? Because you'll notice what I did over here, right? And to get this handler, document.forms.login, because I named my form login, right? But if I don't follow valid JavaScript identifier rules for these things, then I can't use this, right? Because you can also do forms.login.email, and that'll give me the email field, or whatever this field name is, and it'll give me that field. So I'd like to give it a valid JavaScript identifier. I guess I'll go camel case, and I may not have been super consistent about this, but we'll just do it that way. Because there's some funniness about case sensitivity in HTML versus JavaScript. JavaScript's obviously case sensitive, but HTML sometimes isn't. And like I think, I don't remember what was the rule. It's like some types of identifiers you use in HTML end up being manipulated. The case gets manipulated, and it's a problem. I'm trying to remember what that was. I'm sure it'll come up. So, okay. And what's funny about remember me is you also have to remember me, right? So it's like, let me see if I can find the code that does that. Just a second. I'm gonna have to go looking for that. Yeah, unfortunately, to do that, where am I going to locate that code? Here's the problem. I've written so much code over the years. It's like, where did I leave it? Maybe I'll just write it again. Because what I essentially did was I made a custom element that you could wrap this thing in, right? So it'd be like, well, wait, what did I even call it? It was like X, remember, or something like that, right? And so basically you could, if you did this, it would automatically store these form fields in local storage and stuff, right? Do I want to do this? Or do I just want to code it up by hand? I just code it up by hand for whatever, because obviously I did this once before and then I forgot where it was, so I may as well write this code from scratch. So we'll go in here. So if you're not familiar with local storage is how you can store strings in the browser, essentially, to reference later. So what we'll do is let's see. Let's see. Okay. So if it's checked, if remember me is checked, let's see. Okay. All right. I've written this code so many times. You know what? I'm not even going to do that. We're going to do this, what I would consider kind of the dumbest way possible, but because there's really only one value to store. So, I mean, you remember how local storage works. Local storage, okay. Set item, okay. Okay. Else, we're going to remove the item. Right. Let's see here. Oh, we could do that? That's cool. I didn't realize that. Storage stat. That's much cleaner. It used to be you couldn't do that, so that's cool. Okay. All right. So now, if we have checked remember me when we log in, then it'll remember the email address, which means then when we initialize the site, we also need to Okay, so we're going to store the email and okay, see how we did. I mean, yeah, that was probably smart. We'll just do it that way. Oh. Okay. Boom, boom. Oh, okay. So if it doesn't exist, okay, so you don't remember me. We'll just do it that way because it'll be undefined. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh wait. Won't it? Yeah, that's right. Wait. Oh, hold on. Form.rememberme.value. Okay. Okay. Kind of worked. It remembered the email. Checked. Checked. Okay. There we go. I turn it off and then I refresh. Yep. Okay. And okay, good enough. Now, all that because I was just too lazy to keep typing my email address over and over again. So, but now we got it. Let us look at how to actually authenticate. So, yeah, I haven't actually made up the API for this thing yet. And I had a couple ideas I wanted to play with on this thing. To do a little differently. I mean, obviously I could do a plain old REST interface, and that's fine. But I was also considering doing a WebSocket based thing, like doing essentially handling the whole API through chat, which I thought would be kind of crazy. It's not really as different as you would think, but like the chat-based approach, I'm just trying to think how that would impact reliability and everything, because it's like, it would be something crazy. It would be like you'd send a chat message, login message to the server, that you'd wait for the server to respond instead of having to do a fetch and all that. It would be, The reason I was thinking of doing it that way is because I think I could simplify the eventual application logic, because okay, once this thing is implemented and there's two people using this and we're both looking at the same view, right? If I drop an image of Mike Ditka onto this div, I want you to immediately see that, right? And so if we do a REST interface, a lot of times what will happen is you'll get like a WebSocket notification saying, hey, better go fetch state, there's a new thing to look at. But if I used this WebSocket interface as the primary API, I wouldn't even have to do that. I think you just get a new message saying, hey, you got a new thing to look at. It's like, a new thing got added or something got deleted or whatever. So, once again, hey, if you're for my viewing audience, want to see this would be experimental. It'd be a little different. I've never really played with it this way before. So, I mean, the other way, the REST stuff is pretty well trod territory, and everybody knows how that works, and it's not too hard. But doing it with the WebSockets would be a little different. So, let's see what happened there. That's good. Okay, excellent. Yeah, because you can't drag and drop, can you? Nope. Nice. That's what it's supposed to do. So, yeah, basically it comes down to, do you want to see kind of a more traditional RESTful interface, or do you want to see this kind of a weirder WebSocket-based API? And I'll be figuring it out as we go along. I guess I'm gonna go with WebSockets for sure, because I've never done that before. It'll be fun. This thing looks lonely. I think what needs to happen here is there needs to be a drop shadow underneath that thing. Oh, hey, wait, WebSocket. Yes, great minds think alike, man. There we go. We're gonna do a WebSocket-based API, which will be totally rad and different and kind of cool. If we can't be rad and cool, why even be here? I'm gonna drop a shadow under that dialog box though. I think it'll make me feel better. Where is that dialog? Cannot type today. See, it says drop shadow. Yeah. Filter, right? It's under filter, correct? Yep, filter. Okay, I went a little bit haywire there. That's a little too much. I put it in the wrong place. Get that out of there. That's too much. Okay, let's do it here. That was more what I was thinking. Okay. And actually, wait, hold on. Am I not doing a shadow on my notes? Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I wonder if I should use the same drop shadow stuff. I think, can I do that? Let's try that and see if that works. All right, let's see. Okay. That did not work. That is sad. Is my syntax off? Let's see. Let's see. Oh, am I doing it because of the dashes? That's what I did wrong, right? Duh. Don't know why I was doing that. Yep. Okay. So. At least it's consistent. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's like having two different styles of drop shadows would be kind of weird. I wonder if I should beef it up a little bit, though. Make it a little more pronounced. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go a little crazy. What if I do 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.2 rim? Just a little bit beefier. Okay. And now if I pretend to log in. Yeah, that's acceptable. I can live with that. All right. So, okay, so that little detour is over. WebSockets. So now I've got to think about what this API is going to look like. What would a chat-based API sound like? I mean, obviously it's message passing, right? So what's cool about it is like it's completely decoupled. So basically I'll just like send a login message and be like, hey, log me in. And then, eventually maybe I'll get a message back saying, hey, you're logged in. But it will simplify the front-end logic a lot, I think, because a lot of times what you run into is you're using a fetch or something, and then you got this promise, and you got to do an await async and wait for it to come back. And in this case, you just kind of fire that thing off, and it's like, well, whatever happens, happens, So let's refresh. Let's do a refresher on WebSockets. Go back and look at the WebSocket API, and then I'll have to look at how to implement it in Go. It's not too hard, though. I think I looked at this before, and there's a built-in thing for that with whatever framework I had picked for Go. here's the other question. How much code do I have here? And am I willing to lose it? Pardon me, is this enough? Nah, I don't want to push this up yet. It's not sufficient. Okay. Let's take a look at, let's see. Let's look at my code. All right. So we are using Echo. Yes, I chose the Echo framework, right? That's right. I chose the Echo framework. I do have a handler, which is not that important to me. But let's see. So, oh yes, so I did add some APIs. Let's see here. API. Where does API live? It's in. Trying to remember the okay, internal API. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yep, feed. This was for Blink Story. So this is like, you know what I'm gonna do for now is like I'm gonna go ahead and I think this is bogus. I don't think I care about this stuff much. Do something. I'll leave the code there for now, but I think it just needs to be deleted. Delete this stuff for sure. Now let's see. And in fact, I don't care about this. Okay, we got static, which is fine. Don't care about that. Let's see here. What if I try and run my server now? Will it still run? Imported and not used. Okay. Yep, so we don't need that. All right. So it does still run, right? Yep. Okay, didn't break that. Let's go look at WebSockets again. WebSockets. Okay. Yep. Oh, look at that. Interesting. So somebody's already done some formalized async API stuff. So basically you can do event-driven APIs. How cool is that, man? Last time I checked, honestly, this didn't exist, so that's kind of cool. Oh, YAML. Oh, YAML. Please don't. Okay, I guess we have to. I really dislike YAML. Okay. This makes my heart hurt. Do you know why this makes my heart hurt? Because look at this. This is the payload. This is the description of the payload. Just so much more than it needs to be, you know. Do I really want to? I don't know that I want to do this because it just looks like it's way more than I want. It's like they've taken something that was, once again, it was a fairly simple idea. It's just pass some JSON around through chat and then turned it into this YAML. Okay, I'm gonna not look at this anymore because it makes me sad. Okay. I'm just trying to see, is there anything useful that I need here? And I don't think so. I can use the built-in WebSocket stuff. You know. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. Protocols. Let's see. right. Okay. Right. Okay. Now the trick about this is, okay. So WebSockets, one thing about it is it can be many to many. So I think we actually need to, but for our purposes, we want each channel. Well, let's see. We might have a public channel. I don't know. It's like, I think we need each user to have their own individual WebSocket connection because they're going to get specific content just for them, right? It's like, so let's see here. Yeah, that's what I thought. JSON. Yeah, that's it. You're just basically stringifying some JSON and sending it to the server. And that's pretty much it. And then you receive it and you parse it. So that's all it's about, It's not that crazy. And then when you're all done, you close it, right? Yep. So so question number one is, what do these WebSocket URLs look like? And we got to get them coded up on the server, right? So they'll be going to, the current host at, I guess we're going to have to give a unique endpoint for each session. So like each browser window that's open has to have its own WebSocket connection. So let's look up a little bit in Golang Echo Framework WebSockets. Let's see what they got. Okay, here's our WebSocket recipe. All right. So logger recover public. Okay. So when someone does a get to the WebSocket endpoint, this gets called, right? Okay. Okay, interesting. Well, this is obviously a very simple, a very simple example, but I think we can maybe make this work. All right. I guess we can just have one endpoint, and then every client gets connected, and we just keep per connection context, right? We just have like, let's see. I'll tell you what, guys, I need to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to get some water and stuff, and I'll be thinking about this while I get my water, and then we will continue with WebSockets because it's going to be fun. It's going to be making our brain. What's so funny about doing full stack development is like 10 seconds ago, I'm looking at drop shadows, and now I'm thinking about Go routines and like thread context. That's what you got to love about full stack. It's like you got to just like do these quick brain flips to make things work. So I will be right back. In the meantime, guys, just wish I had some royalty-free bossa nova music or something to play for you, but I don't. So just a moment. Okay, guys, I'm back. I've got some soda water, and I've got, I'll have to show you this. It's crazy. Some crispy seaweed cheeseburger nori, which you can get from 7-Eleven here in Thailand. So I'll be eating that in a second. 'Cause, I think I'll think better if I have some seaweed. So, let's see if this is going to be a problem. Really crispy. I'm going to mute that. Just a second. That is the loudest crunchy noise I've ever heard. Anyway, so pretty tasty actually. Let's figure out how we want to structure our URLs on the server. The way it is right now, basically, every URL that resolves to a static file just gets served, right? So when you look at this, right? All these are actual files. They exist in that web subfolder, and they get served up directly, right? Normally, I would have something like a /API endpoint to handle API requests and things. I wonder if I should just keep it simple and have a /WS endpoint. What are the recommended extensions for Go? I don't really want that. I don't think I want to get into this at the moment. I think I'm okay. Sorry about that. So, if we kept it pretty simple, we could just have a /WS endpoint, right? That would handle the web service stuff. So I could go back to this again. I had this nice framework set up to add routes and things, so I guess I could reuse this. So we'll get rid of that. So we'll add a new web service endpoint, something like that. How about that? And we'll call the handler will be it's called WS Connect. How about that? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, and let's see here. So our connect function, we're going to, right now, just for our testing purposes and stuff, let's go look at this recipe, and we'll just create like an echo web service. How about something that just sends whatever the client sends us, we just send it back, maybe. Sorry about that. So returns an error, okay. Okay. So we're going to need that. We need middleware as well. That's going to be a thing. What middleware are we using? Logger and Recover? Don't know what those are. If we are using them, we're probably using them over here, though. We're using logger and recovery here, so don't care about that. Okay, so what we need to do is we just need to basically launch a new handler, right? So right here we'll do this. Okay. Okay, so we got our connection for the close, which makes sense. And we're actually going to do this in opposite order. We're going to read and then we're going to write. So we wait for the client to send us something. We receive it, print it out, and then we write it right back to the client. Okay, and repeat. Repeat forever. So let's see if we can build this. Oh, wow. Oh, well, yeah, but I think I'm not calling that code. That's why. I was like, oh, that was easy. It's like, no, it's not calling it. So now I need to go back in here, and I need to add those routes back in. And so it's going to be, this means, what is it? Shoot, I knew I was going to regret adding that, or removing that reference there, right? I could probably find it. I can find it over here, though. Let's take a look. On this one, that. Okay. So that is my package reference. I know Go wants to keep these import things neat, and so they make it basically a language feature where you can't have inactive imports in your application. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, so now what's good about that is I can also grab this back, right? Let's see. Question is, can I create a group on the root? Maybe I don't need to. It's fine. I'll just make it /API/WS. It's fine. All right. So we'll do it this way. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How does that go? Yep. Okay. So we got some errors, but let's deal with them. First, we got to get rid of a couple of unused references here. We're not using that anymore. No time. Not using NetHTTP. So now it's happier about that. Undefined error. And where did error come from? Oh, because, yeah, my unfamiliarity with Golang. Let's do it this way. And format. So I need to import formats from, where does format come from? Format. That's it. Okay. All right. Let's run it. And it ran again. It's good. Sorry about that. I'm coughing. The PM 2.5 is kind of bad here in Thailand today, I think. Got a lot of particulate matter in the air. Okay, so let's go in here, and now we should have a WebSocket endpoint listening, and ideally if I did this right, it's going to echo, right? So if I write something to it, it'll write it right back. So we can go back to the client now and try and add our socket connection. So, okay. The big question is how I want to structure that. So I would kind of like to have a separate module for the WebSocket stuff, or should the WebSocket stuff be handled through the view? That's a big question. Yeah, actually, I think the view itself should probably construct that WebSocket connection. So that would mean that login is basically going to be a function of the view. So you're going to have to log in. Let me think about that. Okay. So can you have like 3 views up and be logged into different users for each of them? Or should they share? Should they share the view? That's an interesting question. So I'm trying to think of any use case where you'd want to be logged into multiple emails and different DOM element. If you see what I'm saying. So it's like right now there's only one view in this app anyway. I can't see any scenario where you'd want to have like multiple child views and want to be in different, logged in as different users. So when somebody's asking me that we were talking about singletons, like this is a singleton use case, right? This is like where you only want to have one user authenticated at any given time. So I'll probably make a static method to log in for the view itself. So let's go look at the view code. This guy here. Now let's see. All right. So we have some static stuff going on. We're going to make a we need to make a login, like a login user static method. So okay. Okay, so they give us an email. And let's see here. So what's going to have to happen is if we don't have a WebSocket connection yet, we're going to have to fire one up. Pardon me. So I wonder if we should just always start up the maybe we should just start our WebSocket connection whenever we spawn a new view, like every time that the class is initialized. Maybe we should just do that, huh? Yeah, let's do it that way. So just leave this here for a second. Where do we put? It's the very tippy top, or right after the definitions. Is that how I've been doing it? Static initializers. Go where? Yeah. Let's see. I think they would go after the variables probably. Okay, so we got those guys. Let's see. Do I feel like I already have one of these though. Don't I? And we'll find out soon enough. I think JavaScript won't let me do it if I already have one. So we'll do what did I say? What are my other messages? Initializing? Oh, there it is. Okay, wait, see? So I was doing the constructor. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to do it over here, though. All right, let's do it in the static initializer. Okay, so the static initializer should only be called one time whenever the class is instantiated, but for some reason I've been seeing it being called twice, and I never really bothered figuring it out. I guess I should figure out why it's being called twice, which is weird. As a general rule, I try and write all of my code so that even if something unexpected like that happens, it still works, right? So it's like, you know, it's like, even though it's only ever supposed to be called once, just put some guard code in your initializers and things to say, okay, if we get called twice, that's fine. We'll just continue with our life. Maybe throw a warning or something so you can figure it out. But for now, I probably want to create a helper called init WebSocket or init. It's like yes, connect. How about that? Something like that. And so now we need a static connect method. Okay. And we're trying to remember how to write a WebSocket app. So we create a new one. The protocol stuff. Yeah, I think protocol is just a convention thing, and it's like, I don't know that we really care much about it. Let's see. We'll just try and connect. Well, I think I can give it an empty protocol list or something, or do I? Yeah, you don't have to give a protocol, so I don't care about protocols. So let's just do this. So we're going to do this. When I refer to this, in this case, it's actually the view class object. So this is this is like a singleton. This is like, there's only one of these ever. So if this dot socket. So if we already have a socket, we're just going to return. That's already been created. Socket equals new WebSocket, and our URL looks like WSS WebSocket secure. And now with the host name, I'm going to get it out of is it href, right? Location href. Wait, what? Location.href. It was already a URL, so. Okay. So we'll need to grab a URL. Location.href. URL.host. Right? Yep. /API/WS. Boom. Got our backticks. Okay. And once we have our socket, we've got to start listening to this stuff. So okay. Where do I get? Yep, I gotta add my handlers and whatnot. So let's see. Yeah, on message. What are all those handlers? What are all the, let's see. Message event, close event. Let's see. So I guess we'll just do just a couple handlers here, I guess. So we got a message event, close event. Those are the only ones I really care about. Is that true? Yeah, I guess those are it. Let's see. So we'll do I'll just add some more statics here. We'll do static WS close event. Whoop. And we'll do message event. Okay. Socket.onMessage. Okay. That and that. Might have some problems with closures. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, all right, now let's refresh and see where we go. Oh, well, interesting. Did it work? It is being called twice. I'm still not sure why that's happening. Well, so something's not going well over here, I guess. Network connection was aborted by the software in your host machine. Software in your host machine. Okay, so yeah, obviously we're getting a ton of close events, right? We're getting some close events. Oh wait, well, is that true? Well, the first connection went okay. The second connection didn't go so great. Oh, I bet I know why too. Because I know why. Because this, as you can see, never leaves, right? Okay, so it's closed. So I probably need to. Yeah, this is a very simplistic implementation over here of the WebSocket stuff. So let's go make it a little bit smarter, so that whenever the socket's closed, we can leave. Need to go find this package. So let's go see if we can find this package. Okay. And is client con? Let's see. Is client con? It sounds kind of. No, wait, that's not it. Is open maybe? Just want to know if it's open or not. Let's see. How do I just detect that that the socket is closed and nothing's ever going to happen again? I mean, I'm getting this error here. Right. So the write is failed. So the read is failing probably. Let's see, the read failed. What was the first error here? Can I get back to that? Probably not. It's too many of them. Here's what we'll do. We'll run it. Refresh. We're connected. Refresh and Control-C really fast. Ah, did I miss it? Well, probably it's fine. Read. Okay, so. WSA receive. An established connection was aborted by the software in your host machine. Okay. I just want to be able to know when it's dead. That's all. Alright. Config con. Website connection. Yes, this is doing client and server stuff, so it's a little confusing. Let's see. Maybe I can tell from the request that it's closed or something. Let's see. Maybe not, though. I guess the big question is, like, you know, anytime I get an error, I could just abort, which is fine. But, you know, are there recoverable errors that I would be throwing out that would be bad? It's like right here, I could just exit this loop anytime there's a, anytime that there was an error, I could just bust out of here, right? Let's see. Oh, for now, just abort. Do the simplistic thing. That way we won't get a ton of these messages. Okay. So now, refresh. Okay, refresh. Yeah, refresh. Wait, refresh. Okay, so yeah, we're getting these things. Now the thing is, we should be able to send a message and get something back. So let's temporarily just do that. Let's grab, after this stuff's all configured. So let's see. I think I'll create a method called send message. How about that? To be a send message. How about that? Something like that. Okay. And all we're going to do is send a, wait, on open. Oh, wait, on open, right? An open event. There should be one of those too. Okay. Okay, open event. Right, yeah. Okay. So yeah, we do get open events. We got 2 of them, actually. Oh. What is that? Let's see. This .socket returns. Why do we get 2 open events? Did we call open twice? We shouldn't have. Let's go look at this real quick. According to my logic, this should have aborted out of here, right? So let's see. 1, 2. Why is that happening? Why is the stack initializer being called twice? Because of load components. Is load components being called twice? Let's see here. So load components, the pH process include Q. Okay, pH include Q, include Q. Let's look at load components real quick. What's up with that? So maybe there's a bug in my fundamental, right here in my framework, right? That could be an issue. So what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to fetch an external include file like that, and then you know, load all the components in it, and then whenever it's done, it's supposed to not process that file again. But I don't think I ever made any explicit logic that prevents it from doing it twice. Did I accidentally include the same file twice or something? Let's see. All right, so this is funny. So let's dig into this and see. It's worth finding out. Because remember I told you earlier that I'd saw this before and I was like, that's kind of weird. It's like, but I guess it's important to know now. Since it's happening for every file, I doubt that, well, let's see. Let's go back and look. Look at main. Next.html. So, okay. Yeah, so HTML only gets included once, right? Yeah, so that only happens one time. Let's go look at this logic here. The good news about this frame, I'm using the word framework pretty loosely. It's like 230 lines of code, so there aren't that many places where bugs can hide out. But let's see if we can find out what happened. So, yeah, the ph init function, everything pretty much happens in here. So we will, okay. Yeah, basically, we look for all of the inline components in the document, in the main document of the index.html, right? Then we process the ph include. So process ph includes looks for all these ph include elements, right? And in this case, it would be there'd be an index, right? There's only this one expressive, and then this one and let's see here. Okay, so we find all the ph includes. Okay, well, let's see. So that's interesting. So all right, interesting. Okay, so this is how I wrote it. So basically, what happens when you run the include is it populates this empty element with the contents of that file. So basically, this queue will step through each empty include and then populate it. So yeah, so when we push into the queue, then we call process ph include queue. So that's what happens down here. Process, well, let's see, process ph includes calls process the queue. And so the queue shifts the first one out, right? And if it's empty, then we're done. We return. Okay, otherwise, we do a fetch to get the source of that file. And then, if it's okay, we set the inner HTML to what we just got. We load our components. So, let's dump our queue and see what's going on there. It's like at least, now the good news about this is it's a lot easier to debug. I can just go in here and, hold on here. I can just set breakpoints. The problem with a lot of the stuff I do is there's, the dynamic components. So things are the components are generated using eval. It's kind of hard to set breakpoints sometimes, but this ph code is all pretty straightforward. So let's do that. All right. Yep. And now, okay, so don't care about the WebSocket stuff at the moment, but I do care about my breakpoints in ph. Why wasn't that? Am I including ph twice or something? That would be weird. No, I'm including ph one time, right? Am I calling ph include or ph init twice or something? I call it one time. So why am I not getting access to this? Okay, step in, boom. Okay, so the includes array. It's really not really an array. It's actually a node list. Okay, so there are two of them, right? Which makes sense. Okay, so I think I know why. Okay, I think I know why I wrote it this way. So, I think I wrote it this way because of recursion, like being able to do ph includes, inside includes. So it can include file A and file A can include file B. So that's why it continues to keep trying to find these things. Is that right? If I did, I think it's not going to work that way, but I wrote this code a long time ago, so I haven't looked at it in a while. So let's look what's in the include queue. Yep, so we got those two empty ph include elements, right? Yep, got nothing in them, supposedly, right? Child nodes empty, yep. Okay. Now let's process the queue, so we go in here. So now we got this element, this ph include element, right? Okay. So we fetch. Yeah, I know, it took a long time. And then it was okay, so we're good. And then we grab the HTML. Okay, whoop. And then we load the components from that include. And this include, which one was this? This was what attributes? This one was expressive. These were the expressive components, right? So when I step over this, I should see if there were any messages there, which there weren't any from expressive. Okay. And then I recursively call myself. Okay, well, that's kind of sloppy too, honestly. I should look into that. It's like, because you see what's going to happen here is basically, I may as well have done a loop here, because I thought I was being clever by doing this recursion, this tail recursion here. But it's literally just calling itself. So it's going to push, and then it's going to back out. So that's sloppy. Don't know what I was thinking that day. Okay, so now we're back in here again. Now include, this time should be the draw stuff, right? Let's go take a look. Yep. HTML, yep, right. And we should be able to fetch it. We should be able to run it and include it and load it and there now. See everything. Okay, so it's happening on. Wait a minute. Did it happen on load components? Let's do it again. Okay, this one I don't care about. This one I do care about. Yep, it did it twice. Okay, so load components is somehow initializing everything twice. Let's figure out how that's going on. Okay, so load component. So grab scripts. Let's see here. So we grab all the templates. All right, let's see here. Okay, so tag name, yep. Okay. This is the end of load components here, so. So I'm processing element. And I'm processing main. Okay. Tools. Boom. So tools initialized twice. Why is that? Yeah, maybe something's going on in here. Let's take a look at this. This was a workaround I had to do because of some issues with eval, I think. And so I literally had to do an exception handler around this. You know what? I wonder, maybe, I don't know. Maybe this code got fixed at some point and I didn't ever change what I was doing. There used to be a real problem with initializing classes in an eval, so I had to like create a script element and append it to the document. That's what's going on here. I think that's literally what's going on now. Is like it's actually running the code twice. It's actually evaling the first time and then it's appending a script here. So let's see. So I think that worked, right? What's the tag name? Yeah. Whoop. What's that? Let's see here. Yeah, class. Okay, so since the exception didn't get called, oh wait, but I think, okay, so wait, I think this is how it validates that it's actually, this is how it checks to see if the code is actually valid, I think. This first eval, like if it had a syntax error or something, then we get this exception, right? And all right. So now okay. And then we append it. Boom. And now this one, what's the tag name here this time? Hbox. Okay, I don't care about a lot of these. These are, let's see. Yep. Okay, sketch, fine. Now where are we at? Main. Tool. Okay, tools. I think tools does print something out. So let's see what's going on here. So, yep. Whoop. Okay. So we create the script element. Then we append the script. And then we add to the head. So, yeah, what do we got going on with the head right now? A lot of code. Yep. All right, let's see. Yeah, I don't want to see all that. Well, copy it. Let's see. We can copy it. It's all in one line. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. We got main. Yep, that was right. So element. Okay, makes sense. All right. Sorry about that. So now the question is, yeah, my code hasn't been called yet. So when I call append child, what's going to happen? Okay, got loaded once. That's good. Excellent. Okay. All right. So the tools are loaded. Okay. Now, oh, I wonder, is it being called twice because of this, maybe? All right, let's see. So now, I need that template node. Okay, yes, the code did not get called, which is accurate. Now, I'm going to associate this tag name with this class. Okay. Right. And when I do that, what happens? Nothing. Okay. What's the tag name now? Button. So where can I find this? Wait, so we're essentially we're doing this again? Why are we doing this again? Wait. No, wait, this is something else. It's one of those kind of bugs. When I stepped through it, you'll notice no problem. When I don't step through it, it gets called twice. Okay, those are my favorite kind of bugs to fix. Let's figure out what the hell's going on. So yeah, whenever I'm tackling this kind of problem, I mean, it's something to do with, it usually has something to do with sync and async in JavaScript, because, you know, things that you think should just happen synchronously sometimes wait for whenever your function returns and then they happen again or something. I guess one thing I could do, let's see. Let's dump a stack trace and see what it looks like. Console.trace, yeah, let's just do that. So let's go back into our, I don't care about that, don't care about that. No, don't save that. Okay, so let's look at, all right, and in here we'll do a console.trace. Okay. Console.trace. Okay. I think I know what's happening now. And this is interesting. Okay. So, all right. The question is, what do I do about it? I really like static initializers. They're cool. But here's what's happening. Okay, so this static initializer is getting called. Before, I would do this eval, right, of this script to see if it was valid or not, because there's a problem. There was a real problem detecting syntax errors and things. So the eval would catch syntax errors. Like if you had a syntax error, if I put a syntax error into my code here, so if I go back into here, you know, just type, you know, gobbledygook and refresh, right? You're going to see, yep. Whoop. Error creating class for umtools element reference error is not defined. So that is what that initial eval is doing, right? So this first eval is catching syntax errors, and then we actually append the script to head element and execute it. The thing is, this eval, before it was harmless because that class is not supposed to have any active code. Nothing's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to instantiate anything or whatever, right? But now that I've been using these static initializers everywhere, when I do that eval just to probe it to see if it's okay, the initializer is being called. So, the big question is, what do I do about it? Do I make all of my static initializers harmless so they don't have side effects, or sorry, do I figure out some workaround here? Okay, this is a tricky problem. I mean, has this gotten better to the point? What happens if I just don't even do this anymore? What if I stop doing it? Because this is, I solved this problem years ago, and maybe the problem has gone away, because before it was hard to detect syntax errors in eval code, right? And that was why that code exists. So let's go in and just see what happens if I put in, you know, syntax errors, like you know, whatever. Okay. You know, that's not terrible. You know, I love this. I love when the fix is actually just take out some code. That's the best. It's literally the best. Okay, so now I can apparently get rid of the cval. It's no longer necessary. And hopefully everything still works the way it's supposed to work. Okay. Yep. Everything's loaded exactly one time. Looks good. Awesome. All right. Very cool. We got our WebSocket open event as well. So, what do we do about that? Sorry, I'm stretching. Okay, so now we're going to pop some stuff off the stack. So we fixed that problem. We fixed the weird double initializer problem. And in fact, let me push up a fix to that, because did I already create a PH project here? Existing repository. Right. Okay. Write this one right. Yep. So now I can I just push that? I forgot. Can I push that up from here or not? Yeah, I can't push it up from here. I've got to go back in here and do it. Okay. Necessary eval fixed static initializer problem. Love it. Okay. So we'll push that fix up. Now when we go back into our original project, we're going to have a modified sub repo thing we'll have to push. So let's check them all. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and well, I'm not going to check this in just yet. We'll check it in later. Okay. Okay, so now we have this, going back to what we were originally doing, is we kind of got this WebSocket connection going. And we should be able to send stuff to the server and get it back from the server. So, so I have this WS send message thing I wrote. Okay, so the question is, you have to start thinking about the order things are happening, because I do that open, but it's not open until we get the open event back. So if you immediately try and send a message, for example, that's going to fail because the socket's not open yet. So what I'm thinking we were going to want to do is we're going to want to queue messages if the socket's not open, and then try and send them when it is open, right? So let's go take a peep at our WebSocket class stuff here. See if it has a property to know it's open or not. I think there's a status or something like that, right? Let's see the WebSockets API. Constructor, binary type, buffered amount. And then extensions, protocol, ready state. I think ready state's the one I'm interested in, right? Ready state. Yeah, I love the numbers, man. Open, closed, etc. I wonder if they've ever defined any constants for those. It sure would be nice if they'd done that. Hey, they did. Look at that, man. Awesome. Okay. So here's what we do. Okay, first things first. So this is not really connect. This is really create. So I think, but I don't know if you can explicitly. Can you do it? I guess, yeah, I guess you can't really explicitly connect or disconnect. When you create this socket, it immediately tries to connect. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do in here. We're going to look at our socket. And let's see. Not a message event, actually. I want to do it send message down here. So if we're connected, everything's good. So if it's not socket ready state equals WebSocket dot open then sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still thinking. Let's see how I want to do this. If WebSocket is open, then we just send it immediately. This dot socket dot send. Yep. Send stringify our message. M, right? I don't want to call it. Yeah. M return. Okay. Should I return status or not? Why not? Maybe nobody pays any attention to it, but basically true means we sent it. We don't necessarily, once again, we don't know it got received. That's another issue about this kind of a protocol is you can send something and it may never be received, and we have to accommodate that. I'm hoping for the most part we can just, since it's not like an airline airline ticketing system or something, we can get around that by just refreshing or something. But let's see. So if it's open, we send the message. Boom. Otherwise, okay, so now the other possible choices were if it's not open, it is either connecting or it's closed. So let's look at the ready state thing again. Wait, what are all those events? Close, error. Oh, error too. There's error, which we want to get into. So open event, message event, error event. Okay. All right, we got the error event there. Okay, so I'm trying to remember exactly those things where they were. Ready state. There was closing, closed. Okay. So basically, if it's in the connecting state, okay, for all of these things, I think what we want to do is we're going to have a queue. We're going to have our message queue, right? So it's just basically an array, but we're going to have our message queue, right? Actually, that gets initialized. We're going to make it be initialized in our static initializer. Okay. So if it's not open right now, we can't send the message immediately, so we're going to queue it. So this dot socket message queue dot push our message, right? If I wonder if we want to do a switch here. Well, because what I'm thinking is basically if it's closing or closed, we're gonna connect again. That's what we want to do. So ready state in. Can I do in? I think that doesn't work. It kind of makes me mad. If it's not connecting, then WS Connect. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, right. So basically, if we are currently trying to connect, we're not going to recreate the socket. But if it's one of those other states like closing or closed, we're going to go ahead and try and recreate the socket and connect again. Because we're trying to send stuff to the socket and it's not working. So now, back up in our open event, okay, once it's open, that means we can send stuff. So we will, can I do that while let equals this dot socket message queue shift. So I want to do them, I want to use shift because I need to get them in, you know, the order that they were sent. So we pushed them at the end, but we're going to shift them off, right? Let's see. Does that work? Does that syntax work in JavaScript? I can't remember. It's like, can I do that? Am I allowed to do that? I think I can't. Yeah, I'm being too fancy here, maybe. But here's the deal. I do like to mutate the array. Like, let's see here. Can I do it this way? Equals this done. Let me change this to okay. Okay. Length is greater than 0. Let's see. Oh, well, actually I can just do it while this, even though this is, people will cringe, but wow, message. Yeah. All right. So now, all I gotta do is stringify the message, send it, boom. And that should empty out the queue. So, okay. Now we did all this infrastructure. We haven't actually tried to send a message yet. So let's go and try and send a real message, I guess. So we've got our login function down here. So we just got to decide what our message format is. So this dot send message login email. Okay. Now we'll go back into we'll pop back. This is the thing about programming is like we've gone 15 levels deep to get to the point where we can process this form. So now I need to add. We got our submit listener right here, right? We did our remember stuff. So now we're going to do. Okay, let me think about how to do this. Since it is a static, can I just call it? I don't know. Is it login or what did I say it was login? Login user, right? I don't know that I can do this. I think this won't work, but yeah, we'll just do this. Okay. Okay, see what's going on here. WSQ. What happened to that? That should have been initialized, right? WSQ. Okay, let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is my bad. Yeah, I wondered about that. um, so, I needed to do a closure around these guys because this context is not what I was expecting it to be. It's actually the socket, not the class. Let's see. If I just do an arrow function, is that gonna work? Maybe not, but we'll try it. Actually, to do that right, I have to do it like this, right? Okay. Now things are looking a little better. Okay, that's what I was concerned about, but that's totally fine. We'll make it work. What I'll do is I'll put a method. I'll put a wrapper around that just so I don't have to expose the class to the caller. So we've got our static login user method. So I'll create like an alias for it here. Even though they all secretly call the same static method, that's fine. So we'll do, where are we going to put these login functions and stuff? We may as well put them at the top. They're kind of, like, I'd like to put things in the order that they're called in, so, you know, that should be one of the first calls, right? What is, how do you get a reference to the class? How do you get, can't remember. Let's see. Object constructor, is that what I gotta do? Yeah, it's kind of hinky, but I think that might work. Yeah. Yep. Okay. 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 Oh, okay. I think we got our response back from the server. Check that out. Yep. Got a message on the server. Got our message back to the client. That's kind of tight. So you know what, guys? I've been debating with this for a while, but it's like the 4-hour live stream. It's a long live stream. I'm thinking I'm going to cut them down slightly to 3.5 hours maybe. Today is 3.5. If you guys have opinions, leave them. But I mean, 4 hours is just kind of long, and like I got to go shopping and do some other stuff today. So this is kind of a good point to stop at, I think, because we've got our server side picking up a WebSocket connection. I'm able, I should be able to implement this login function next time using email and everything. I'll be working on that during the week, honestly. But yeah, that's kind of cool. And we got our messages here. I think this is a good point at which to stop today. So unless I hear some major outpouring from my 2 viewers, hey guys, glad you're out there. I'm going to shut it down for now. So I hope everybody has a good day, night, or wherever you happen to be, afternoon. And I will hopefully see you guys on the next stream next week. So everybody take care, and thanks for watching.